Hello, welcome to the third episode of LittleBigArt Studio. This one, I said I was going to show you a bit more. I'm going to, in the next 10-15 minutes, I'm going to do all live creating on screen so you get an idea of what we're doing and how we do it. And this is still moving too fast. It's going crazy. It's too much. Sackboy will never be able to grab that. So let's slow it down a bit. 3 seconds. That's reasonable. So it's still fairly violent. Perhaps it's the acceleration. Perhaps we ought to have the acceleration really slow. And deceleration fairly slow. Let's see how that goes. I've also moved the microphone, so hopefully you won't hear my breath so much. See how that goes. See how this. But then, of course, I've got other problems because if I move, I see other things. Oh well. Nobody said it's going to be professional, did they? You're here to see how to make good levels, and that's what I'm hopefully going to show you. Strange enough though, I've never been team picked. Although I've received some moderate success with some levels. Let's use old moss. Moss is good for a good floor covering, so let's use moss. Let's just put loads of moss in the background. Of course, in the early LBP3s, you used to have to design your background. You had to think ahead, especially in first LBP. You couldn't just you couldn't just make a background disappear. That feature did not exist till LBP2. I remember seeing that and thinking, whoa, that's going to totally change the way I create. Probably even mentioned, I think I mentioned it in my interview with Left Stick, Right Stick. Yeah, I think so. In my I won't shut up and stop talking over you, sorry guys, Left Stick, Right Stick interview. Actually, I must say, yeah, oh yeah, I must say, I just have to mention this though. Left Stick, Right Stick have been quite instrumental in helping me get to grips with YouTube and the whole thing and how to get something up and running. And yeah, it's been quite nice. I tend to find the LB community is quite good, helpful. I mean, the best thing you can possibly do for learning is find someone who's willing to, teach you, or let you hang out with and see them do stuff, ask them questions. They will answer, because we all like to talk about ourselves, really. We don't like to admit it, but we all do. That's not entirely true. So yeah, I've just put a basic thing in there, and it's all square. So yeah, you're going to instantly say, but you told me squares were really bad. They are. Sackboy cries, and the Sackbot dies every time somebody publishes a square level. Yeah, don't keep publishing square levels out of vindictiveness either. So we're making something a bit more hilly, okay, and we want it to be a bit more freeform, so turn the grid off, because the grid's helpful for exactly what it's useful for, squares. So if you're doing a big cityscape, yeah, grid's perfect. But try to create something that looks a bit more au naturel. And nature has no rules, believe me. Mother Nature sees your rules and she says, no, I don't care. I'm doing my own thing over here. I'm quite happy. Don't worry about that. That's what she does. She gets on with it. So going in with the tool editor, the point editor, which is a very nice little tool to make it look a bit more. So okay, got a nice look to it. This is looking a bit flat square, so let's put a bit more of a bump into it. And that's nice. Got a nice bump there now. And here we're going to put it down a bit, do we? Down a bit. Yeah, down a bit. And down a bit. Of course, the problem you can have is too many points, and far too many points do actually create big problems for the game. I will get into that further on as I get into more complex creating. At the moment I'm keeping it fairly simple. And if you're beginning to think, well, this isn't looking simple, then yeah, this is simple, believe me. So, okay, let's put that in there. So that now eats into our scenery. And all I've done is bring it forward, and we'll get rid of that. Bring it forward. But every time I bring it forward, okay, we can't do that one, so let's grab the one behind. And there you go, perfect demonstration of what I was just talking about, the ability to make things disappear. So, bring that down even further, and voila. So we now have, oh, it's a little bit awkward to get, yeah, hang on, yeah, we can jump and grab. Of course, you and I know, behind there, see, is that. The easiest way to remedy that problem would be to cut it off. And this is what you're looking out for every time, all the time you're creating. When you're making stuff, you are always looking out for little problems like this. I'm just going to check the time. Yeah, I've got plenty of time left, don't worry, for this episode anyway. So we're going in. So I'm basically show you how to create a scene in these first few episodes, and then each scene will build up. Perhaps this will trigger you to think of a question for me. Perhaps you'll wonder how I did something. Perhaps I do something really quickly, you just gloss over it, because I take a lot of it for granted. We assume that people have learned similar stuff to us. What I sometimes forget is the fact that I created for a long time. So, and I've learned lots of stuff. My dog's just showing an interest in something going on outside. If he starts barking, then back to the usual problem. At the moment though, we've got the wire in the middle of nowhere, which is a touch unrealistic. So we want something to attach it to. So let's get this nice scuffed metal. Let's use a semicircle, because they're always nice. Quite fond of semicircles. If you would like me to critique your level as well, just leave the description below. I will check it out. I'll go and do it. I'll do a level up critique on it quite happily. You know, and I'm not going to always say bad things there. I'll point out your good points as well, and what you've done, and what I like and stuff. And I'm no expert, that's for sure. I'm certainly no expert, but it's just going to be opinion based, really. Okay, so look, we've got a problem here already. The platform is further away, and we can't attach it to there. So we need some way of making that look not strange. So what can we do? Well, let's try this. The lollipop at an angle technique. Where people go, you didn't have a pre-planned idea, you'll make it up as you go along. And that's what a lot of people do. The official way you should create, and I can show you that if you want, I can show you you know, step by step, is you should make it all out of cardboard. But where's the fun in that? You wouldn't get an idea of what I'm doing at all if I did it all in cardboard. And you wouldn't get an idea of what it's going to look like. So we've got this here, and I might show you an episode where I show you how to make a tree. But probably don't have to show you how to make a tree. Some of it is down to the DLC you own. I will try and use just standard in-game stuff. I will even try and stay away from glitch stuff, because there's glitch tools and things, and there's stuff you can obtain within the community that just, yeah, you've got a tree, boom, down, dusted. And I do use it. It's a shortcut, but it's lazy creating, really, and you haven't got as much control over how your trees look. And if you've got the time or the inkling or the energy or the want, really, to create different trees, create 3 or 4 different trees, mix it up a bit. So let's what people tend to do though is they make a tree, then they just slightly change that tree, and they slightly change that tree, and then you get an evolution of trees. So let's build a tree. Let's have a look. So come into here, theme. Now I happen to know there is a nice tree style in Victoria, but it's just a, so here we are, Victoria, and we have a very interesting tree motif, or that tree motif. We'll go for this one. Looks a bit funky, quite like that. And now we're going to make it to a tree. Remembering what I said about things being a bit more random and that. Okay, the first thing we want to do, now I'm going to go to the Verbi kit, because I happen to know there's some interesting stuff in the Verbi kit. That's one, I think it's relatively cheap, and it's just a pure sticker kit. Yeah, I'd like to see some more sticker kits from Sumo because they're cool. The music one as well was just with a few bits of homemade music, added a bit more to the game, like the MM music pack. Fantastic. Does what it says on the tin. Right, so let's find the Verbi one. Original sticker kit. Now, look, green can girls skirt. Perfect. And you're going to say, that looks awful, and you'd be right, that does look awful at the moment. Of course, that is 2D. That is flat as a pancake, and I really don't want that. So we're going to make it a bit more fluffy and a bit more interesting. So let's go into our objects. Let's find something that would be good to make it a bit more fluffy and interesting. A snowball. Yep, that'll do. Get up in the air, snowball. Stay there, don't move. And there we go. And that snowball looks a bit solid. The trees let light through, so how are we going to make it let light through? I must say, thanks to Scary Biscuit for this one, because he told me how to do this. Here we go. 90, yeah, about, let's put it at 75%. Voila. Ding. Now when you shine light through your tree, it will go through. I'll get into that. So yeah, sorry to tell the world that one's scary. Just you know, it's a very good technique. We quite like that one. And when I say we, I mean me and my dog. You know. Okay, so then I've just gone to pine leaves. These are all standard in the game, and we're using the surface of the snowball to get the randomness, and you're beginning to get shape for your tree, and it's beginning to look a bit more tree-like, 3D and interesting, and that's exactly what we wanted. So copy that. But, oh, hang on, they're hitting each other. Well, we don't want that, as it's going to be a part of the scenery that no one's going to interact with. Well, no, Sackboy anyway. Dephysicalize. Dephysicalize. Now we can merge. And voila. So I'm going to finish off doing this, and then I'll come back to you, and we'll show you a bit more of how to do things, and I'll have a few trees in there, and I'll show you the next side of things. So just, yeah, repeat that until you get your nice tree look. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in episode, well, the next episode, episode 4. Yeah. I'll see you then, and I'll show you a bit more of what we're going to do in the scene, and how we're going to build it up, and how we're going to make the hazards, etc., and make it all look interesting and nice for the player. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.